the best worst podcast you've ever heard. And now, The Ronnie and Bo Show, brought to you by Prescott Realty.
It's another exciting episode of The Ronnie and Bo Show.
This is the best part of my week.
This is a lot of fun that we get together and do these things on a weekly basis. They're only 20 minutes, so how much can it hurt?
Not that bad. I mean, think about how many other things that could be way worse than this in a 20-minute span. I mean a prostate exam.
That's right. I think
way worse.
I think a dentist appointment is much longer than 20 minutes.
You bet.
You got it.
There is a lot there. Just having to eat any sort of vegetable is
and sometimes that takes about an hour and a half to
painful.
swallow it down, right?
With my boys, it does. Yeah,
that's same with my daughter.
Yep. But this is the Ronnie and Bo Show, brought to you by Prescott Realty. We're so thankful for them.
Prescott Realty is 928-499-8700. That's how you get in touch with them.
Right, and they've got an amazing team of specialists, and the whole thing is with really the largest financial decision that you've got to make in your life. It's buying and selling a home. And you want to trust that decision with people that really know what they're doing and are specialists in their field.
That's right. And if you need a new roof, you don't call a baker. And if you need a wedding cake, you don't call a roofer.
You don't?
You call a specialist.
Now I know I've been going wron all these years.
I'm telling you, man.
Exactly.
And his cakes taste terrible, I might add.
Right. And they
But they are specialists, and they're not soccer moms.
No.
That have a real estate license.
Right. And soccer moms are great.
That's fine.
And people who have real estate licenses are great. But
That's right.
Soccer moms who are also trying to do real estate may not be able to pull off what you need.
That's right. Specialist. If you're a first-time home buyer,
yep.
you want to talk to
Kylie Elliott.
Kylie Elliott. If you're looking to build a customized home,
yes,
they have a specialist at Prescott Realty.
Richard Hanna is your guy for that. Existing residential homes, Lorinda Johnson, help you with a buy or sell of that. And then John Rocha, new home sales, and then he's phenomenal at the marketing end of things. So quite the dream team there for you at Prescott Realty. You can check them out at prescottrealty.com.
Or give them a call at 928-499-8700. So what are we working on today, Ron?
Well, today I want to get to talk a little about some people that are worth knowing.
Nice.
And maybe some people not worth knowing.
Okay.
I think a little bit of both. I think that
or people that you don't think are worth knowing that are worth
knowing.
That
actually are.
See?
I know. Well,
don't judge a book by its cover, right?
That's for sure. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to get soaked or flooded out when I leave the studio today, because it's been nonstop monsoon season right here in Prescott. Oh, my goodness.
My son is practicing football after school, just right around the dinner time, and they get about 30 minutes in, and then they got to call it because of lightning and But it's amazing how green it is.
Oh, I love this time of year, and you'll hit a lightning and then thunder that it's holy buckets.
Yeah.
This is scary and cool all at the same time.
Driving down 89 and it's just a sea of green. I said that to a friend of mine a couple of days ago. He said, it's only greener in Ireland.
Yeah. That's probably
that's true. That's how green it is here in northern Arizona.
Probably true. But we've got a whole host of fun games that we play. This whole thing is a game, really.
Yes.
But at the beginning, we've got Ronnie and Bopo, and we've got.
It's hard to say.
It is. We've got buzzword that we've tried. We've
Daily
got Daily Dose. Bo knows who said it.
We got too many bits.
We do. But
okay.
I don't know if we can ever have.
But I'm going to lay
many.
another one on you.
Okay. I'm ready.
This is a new feature on the Ronnie and Bo Show.
Okay.
And it's called. We need to get somebody to record these little images.
Yeah. Right.
This new feature is called Canadian or Dead. Bump, bump, bump.
Canadian or Dead.
Do I need to explain how we play that game?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with this game.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Really? Canadian or Dead? You need an exclamation?
I'm serious.
Explanation?
I'm serious, eh?
What was that Christmas?
Yeah, it was
Christmas song?
Oh, yeah. I was thinking Strange Brew.
That was those McKinsey brothers?
Yeah.
On the 12th day of Christmas, a moose. Didn't they have a holiday song?
Yeah.
Anyways. Okay, I'm going to give you a name.
Okay.
And you're going to tell me if that person is Canadian or dead.
Okay.
You really needed me to explain that.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's right.
That's good.
Okay, are you ready?
Okay, man, I imagine this might be harder than I think. Okay.
I don't think it will
Canadian
be at all.
or dead. Okay.
Here is the name.
Okay.
You have to answer correctly.
All right.
Donald Sutherland.
Oh.
Good luck.
Wow. I was hoping for like Michael J. Fox or something, and then I would have known immediately. Just Canadian. Donald Sutherland. Well,
is he Canadian
the
or
question?
dead?
The question is because did he just die or something? You know,
I may have stumped you.
You might have. I'm gonna say Canadian.
You're right.
Yes.
Yes, that is absolutely right.
Woo!
So congratulations, right. Canadian or dead. Thank goodness we didn't start the inaugural Canadian or dead with Alan Thicke. I think he's a little bit of both, isn't he?
Both. Huh? Too soon, Bo?
Yeah.
No, he is. Yeah, both.
All right.
Both. So sad.
So what do you got for us today?
Okay, well, so, there's a lot of people worth knowing out there. Historical people, even just a good mechanic. You never know.
Right.
Like you can't go wrong. You know the right people, and life is golden. and so I know you, and my world opened up, Bo Woods.
No, it didn't.
It did. You are worth knowing.
I am?
Yeah, you are. And
thank you.
But I think there's some people not worth knowing. Before we get to the ones that are worth knowing.
Oh.
According to the internet, I've got some sort of toxic people that you should avoid.
Types of people not worth knowing.
Right.
So these are characteristics.
Right. And you.
So you weren't gonna call out your neighbor.
No, I'm not.
Leaves the trash can out for 5 days before bringing it back in.
No.
You're not talking specifically about that guy.
I am not.
You're talking about types of people or characters of people. Character
avoid
traits.
these ones because
Okay.
they're unhealthy, toxic sorts of people. So avoid these ones, and then that may help us zero in on then who we should be looking for or getting to know.
All right.
People who are judgmental.
Uh-huh.
You know any judgmental?
Yes, Mother
people?
Teresa.
Yeah.
Not worth knowing. I get you. I'm following you. Yeah, go ahead.
She was.
Oh boy, was she rude? Was she rude or
witch,
what?
wasn't she?
Man, not worth knowing. Next, cross her off the list.
Those who are envious.
Yeah, no,
Mother Teresa again was.
There you go.
She was one jealous, envious little old woman.
Up to no good.
Yep.
Selfish.
Right. Ooh, control freaks.
Yeah, these are good characteristics to avoid.
To avoid.
Yeah.
And
in people.
I don't want to know any control freaks. I do know some. Arrogant.
Hey, I'm sitting right here. Take it easy, man.
Arrogant people.
Again.
Arrogant. That's not you. Those who are victims. That's easy to fall into. People, they may go through a rough circumstance, but then everything now is passed through that filter.
And when you're in that relationship, how do you get out of that relationship? Here's a person who's really going on tough times, and then you befriend them, and then you find out that's how they are in life, and now you can't get out of it.
Yeah, that's a
back
black
out
hole.
Delicately.
Yep. Those who are negative Nancys.
I'm a little bit of that occasionally.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it comes down to how you define it.
There's a fine line between negativism and realism.
I was going to say you're a realist.
Yeah.
I don't know that you're negative.
Okay.
Nancy.
I'll take that. Thank you.
Those who are
Did you
liars.
just call me Nancy? You just said you're not as negative as you are realistic, Nancy. Huh?
Don't call me Shirley. Those who are liars. Liars can't be good for you.
No.
We want to gossips. Not good.
Nope.
Not good. I don't know how this list might just go on and on forever.
So those are some characteristics of people that you want to avoid.
Avoid those sorts of people.
Not too inspiring, those types.
No, not inspiring. And so I don't know. Are there some historical figures or important people that we should know that we don't?
Well, and then there's the question. Why do you want to know them? Do you want to know him for that's my friend, for egotistical reasons, or to learn about him, or to say, I guess who I know?
Yeah,
exactly. And you don't know. I mean, you look at Edison, right?
Right.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe and then you have to ask the question. Would it be exciting? I don't know what adjective we're using. Exciting to know Edison. You say, well, boy, who wouldn't want to know Edison and to watch him invent? But you never know. He may be a bore or a real rude person at a cocktail party. So maybe we think it would be great to know, but maybe he would be horrible. Maybe he was,
Yeah, Edison was
maybe he talked too much.
He was just the most annoying cat ever. And
yeah. It'd be great to know. No, he was very insecure. You wouldn't like being around him at all. He was a gossip.
You really, everybody wants to know the guy that invented the light bulb, and then you meet him and you go, kind of a bore.
I can think of just the obvious, Jesus.
Yep, that's a good one.
that would
that's a good one.
I don't know. Again, it's interesting. I thought this would be, who would you like to know? And it was that person or that person.
Right.
But you know what? You got to ask follow-up questions, don't you?
Yes.
I mean, you would say it would be nice to know, interesting to know, helpful to know Jesus.
Right.
But then if you lived during his time,
right. Yeah.
Maybe it was tough. Wasn't he persecuted a lot?
Yeah,
Obviously.
If you were associated with him, that might not have ended that well for you. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think there's a whole bunch of people that are unknown that if circumstances had happened just a little bit differently, we would have known them. So
okay, give me an example.
There's Alexander Graham Bell that we attribute the telephone.
Oh, so you're saying we know him because he invented the telephone? Yeah,
right. But what we didn't know is if he had showed up at the U.S. Patent Office 2 hours later.
Wow.
There's a man named Elisha Gray.
Yeah.
And we would know Elisha Gray as the inventor of the telephone, not Alexander Graham Bell. Yes.
Oh, that's interesting.
That is true.
So Marconi, I think, invented radio.
Radio, yeah.
So there had to be somebody. And who was the Tesla guy? There was a real Tesla, AC and DC currents, right?
Tesla, and then some other guy in the U.S., and it might have been Edison or even back further with Ben Franklin working on stuff. But I think there were two guys that.
There was alternating current, I think, is what we use,
yes.
And then DC was what Tesla was working on.
Okay, you're not talking about the rock band.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about the rock band. No, and, it could have, there was a lot of influence, and there was a lot of people that wanted to go with this guy and not go with that guy, and so it became AC versus DC.
Right.
And I'm not talking about the rock band.
No, that's good.
Again.
That's good. The right
when you made that snide remark about not talking, were you talking about Tesla or ACDC?
ACDC,
because you could have used it for Tesla too.
I could have. I could have.
See how I beat a dead horse?
Yes. Yeah. Speaking of Tesla, you've just touched on a car topic indirectly now, and now we're in the black hole because of my love for cars.
Yes.
But Tesla is run by a guy named Elon Musk.
Okay.
And a billionaire. He's kind of like Robert Downey Jr.'s character in Iron Man. He's kind of this the Tony Stark, billionaire, kind of free with the money, and he's running this Tesla company that's cranking out these electric cars all over the place. But he seems a little bit crazy. Mm-hmm. So he's a billionaire. He's in charge of SpaceX that are sending spaceships into the outer space, and then he's also got electric cars finally cool and off the ground. So it seems like you'd want to hang out.
How many
with him.
Teslas do you think they sell? Tens, hundreds, thousands a year? I don't mean to put you on the spot.
I don't actually know, but I know they have one of the lowest profit margins.
Yes.
Ever right now. They're struggling. You know. So at face value, I think I'd want to know Elon Musk because he seems like an interesting cat. But then I just read that he's living, he's been sleeping on the factory floor at Tesla.
That's weird.
Which sounds weird. Yeah. Which is back to the Edison thing, or even Albert Einstein. You look at the hair. Something wasn't right with that guy.
Jeff Bezos just popped into my mind when you said sleeping on the floor. I remember seeing a 60 Minutes show on him, and his desk was 2 sawhorses and an interior door.
Yeah,
that was his desk.
Yeah,
I don't know. I guess he was humble or something. I guess he could probably afford a Kia now. I don't know.
Wow,
IKEA, not a Kia.
Yeah,
not Earnhardt Liberty Kia.
You're right. Yeah, not a Korean.
I'm talking about desk furniture.
Okay, yeah, good. Well, the Wright brothers invented flight.
Yeah, they would be neat to know.
Or so we think. I think that would have been an exciting one.
Kitty Hawk. I lived in Norfolk, Virginia, and about 35, 45 miles away is the Outer Banks.
Yeah.
North Carolina, and there's a place called Kitty Hawk, and there's a dune.
Yes.
Well, now it's a state park, but at the time it was a dune, a sand dune, and they ran off the sand dune and tried to fly their little biplane.
Man.
And they did it, and in Kitty Hawk.
Wow.
That's where they did it.
Well, and there's a guy named Gustav Whitehead that was a German immigrant that had actually achieved flight at the same time.
Wow.
And yet history has forgotten him.
So going back to cars, Mercedes.
Yes.
Was there a guy named Mercedes,
Yes.
or was it a company named Mercedes? Anyways,
No, I
again,
think
I'm
it's
putting you on
named-
the spot here.
I think that one's named after a guy.
But that guy invented the engine before Ford and stuff, right? I mean, so there were examples
Right.
of where he beat Ford, and Chevrolet was an American guy with a French background. His name was Chevrolet.
Yep.
But because Ford was the first to figure out the assembly line, then he gets
He
not all the credit, but a lot of the credit.
Right.
He didn't invent the engine. He didn't invent he invented. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yep.
That makes a lot of sense.
So people worth knowing. Would a bouncer at a concert be a person worth knowing if you wanted to sneak in or get in?
Yeah.
Would a football coach be worth knowing if you wanted to get tickets to a football game, or if you wanted to just get an autograph? I mean, I don't know. It depends what your motivation is, right?
Exactly. We've got a college-age girl that we're allowing to, crash with us for a little while, and she's kind of like a second daughter, and she's working at Dutch Brothers, and I love coffee.
So she's good to know.
Exactly. And
That's
so
interesting.
Free coffee from Dutch Brothers is fantastic. So I like that. You're a music guy. Could you pick the person most worth knowing in the music biz?
Boy, that's a great question.
By decade.
Well, that's a great question. The first thing that came to mind was a famous artist, because you wanted to know them just to see what they were like, and just to ask them about their song. But boy, then there's record executives and record producers and
what about
Barry Gordy?
Oh,
Barry
man.
Gordy was the president of Motown Records.
And that just was a whole...
I mean, you could say, boy, wouldn't it be great to know the Temptations? Wouldn't it be great to know Diana Ross? How about Barry Gordy, who put it all together?
If you knew Barry Gordy, you could meet and know all of those people.
Yeah, that's right.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
60s, who would you pick? If you just got to meet one of those or know an artist from the 60s.
Boy, that's so hard. I mean, you're not putting me on the spot, but it's just so hard to choose. But and then there were people who knew the Beach Boys.
Right.
I mean, the Beach Boys, we look at it, we say, oh, boy, those Beach Boys, they had so many hits, and boy, were they famous, and boy, they were California music.
Yep.
Kids went to school with the Beach Boys. They were nothing.
That's true.
They were nothing. They were just a pain that borrowed a quarter for a Coke.
Exactly.
Or a Pepsi, and then they knew, what was it? One of the kids, one of the brothers knew Manson.
Oh, man.
And
be careful what you wish for. They always say that, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Watch out. You never want to meet your heroes. But that's what they say. Anyway.
Yeah, but that's also interesting, and I don't have a good question for you, but that's also interesting. What is the motivation for people worth knowing?
Yeah, that's
I know
true.
we said it a couple of minutes ago, but is it all just I met him? I don't know. Maybe it is.
That's it.
Are there? Would you? I mean, why? A, would you? And B, if you would, why would you want to know a president?
Yeah.
That's a rhetorical question, but why would you want to know that person?
Right.
Let alone, are they worth knowing?
Yeah, a lot of it is, if they don't, I don't know, impact your life for the better, if it's just financial motivation, or, that you're friends with them and that makes you look better, I'm not sure that's a good motivation.
But in the radio career, it was nice meeting the Righteous Brothers. It was nice meeting B.J. Thomas.
Yes.
You don't get to know them, but you meet them for 20 or 30 minutes.
Yep.
It's fun.
Michael Jackson was on the back lot at Universal Studios when I was a tour guide there.
Uh-huh.
And in the couple of years that I was working there, you'd be driving through the back light and they'd be shooting movies. And we would go down the road and the tram would stop and you'd watch them filming sometimes. And if an actor or an actress were free, then sometimes they would come out to the tram and sign autographs or say hello. And so I'd seen kind of all different reactions to different actors, and the different levels of fame. And then Michael Jackson was just on the back lot with 4 or 5 security people and I don't know, a couple of friends or something. I've never seen 175 people fit on those trams, and the driver brought it to a stop, and you could instantly tell it was him. He had the surgical mask on over his face.
Carrying an umbrella.
Yeah, exactly.
And a monkey in the other hand. Yeah. I don't know.
And no joke. I mean, and this was it's the equivalent of taking a slow roller coaster ride through movie sets, So I mean, there's walls that come down to keep you in the tram so you don't fall out.
Little doors.
And people started jumping out of the tram and running after him.
But that is a power that's rarely seen, right?
Right.
I mean, that is you lose your head.
Right. That's a freakish sort of experience. But man, yeah, I don't know. I think for me, there's the ones that you just like if they've led kind of an interesting life, but they're also good people. I'd kind of want to get to know them.
Yeah, no, it's interesting to figure out which personalities you'd like to know and for what reason you'd like to know it.
Yep, exactly.
If you're looking for real estate or you're in a real estate transaction, then the people you must know, Prescott Realty.
Yes.
You can find them at PrescottRealty.com. You can call them at 928-499-8700.
Yep, or you can email
them.
They're
worth knowing.
Yep, info@PrescottRealty.com will be a good email address for them, and reach out to their specialist to help you with your buying or selling needs.
And don't forget to pick up a Ronnie and Bo Show t-shirt or a hat at our Facebook shop.
Yes, and thanks so much for leaving a rating and review wherever that you're listening, because it helps other people find us as a podcast. So thank you so much for taking the time, even though we know it's kind of a hassle.
Ronnie, you're great, worth knowing, and I'm glad I know you.
Vice versa, Bo. This is the joy of my life. Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening to The Ronnie and Bo Show, available on your favorite podcast provider. Please connect with The Ronnie and Bo Show on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and RonnieandBoShow.com. Send comments to RonnieandBoShow@gmail.com. This is your announcer speaking. I'm Shotgun Tom Kelly.